Morning, everybody. I'm Lee Phoenix, wishy, and today, teased in the last video, you saw me take another fucking stunt for the cold open. It hurt, by the way. Hit my head on the keyboard, so that wasn't nice. It's Fall, which is a film. Wow. Wait, let me get you the facts. Directed by Scott Mann, and well, let's start in one that too big, but actually it's pretty good in it. We'll get to all of that. So, Fall, the plot. We have three thrill seekers, Becky, Hunter, and Dan. I'm quite sure his name's Dan. He's only in the film for about 15 minutes, so I can get the name. Dan, yeah. Doing rock climbing. Becky and Dan are married. Hunter's their friend, third wheel. And Dan basically falls and dies. Rest in peace. When he falls, when he's like hanging from so he fell, and the suspenders holding him up. There's this shot, and you can tell they didn't have the greatest budget for this thing. If I remember, it's about $3 million. I'll show you the shot now. It's not great, but it's just a tiny nitpick, to be honest. So we'll look over it. So, after that, the main character Becky's like depressed for a year, and then Hunter says that she has a new plan to climb the B67 TV tower, which is abandoned and about to be taken down, and to spread Dan's ashes on the top of it. That's the plot. That's the before shit happens. That's the plot, right? This film, I'm gonna talk general facts. Obviously, $3 million budget. Actually did alright. Become quite a phenomenon. I've seen it on like TikTok and all that a lot. I feel like it's overperformed its expectations in terms of. It was distributed by Lionsgate Films, directed by Scott Mann, written by Scott Mann and Jonathan Frank. Was released this August actually, so it's quite a new film, which means I will keep it light on the clips again, guys. Maybe even no clips at all, to be honest with you, because I do not need another video to be blocked and then I have to always re-edit it. It's a pain in the bottom. It's a pain in the ass. So probably won't be showing any clips again. This is a new film. But when it's an older film, I can definitely show clips. But stuff like this, when it's newer, I can't really show clips. So sorry about that in advance, guys. All right. And this film is basically classified as a mystery thriller. Thriller in the sense where it's actually a thrill, not like a scared of the unknown type thing. Basically, you want to feel like you're on a roller coaster, you want some adrenaline, watch this thing. If you're an adrenaline junkie, you're gonna love this. Majority of the film takes place atop of this 2,000-foot B67 TV tower. Sure, there's a picture of the top of the damn thing. It's very. It's tall. It's very tall. So here we go. Spoilers ahead. I'm gonna get into the nitty gritty. So if you want to watch this for yourself and come back, this is your warning. Also, before I go, I only remember this now. As things stand in this current video, I am on 299 subscribers. So if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, I usually don't like begging and stuff for this, but you could be number 300, which I think is a pretty cool thing to be. So if you're watching this and you're not subscribed and you want to help me out, you can help me hit 300 today. So up to you, obviously, but one last spoiler warning, let's go. So obviously we made it to the point where Becky reluctantly agrees to go with Hunter on this. They have many warnings. For example, they almost got run over by a semi-truck with their own car because Hunter was too busy recording a YouTube vlog. Yeah, or not YouTube vlog. I'm not sure if it's a YouTube vlog or like Instagram video. She's an influencer basically. Has like 60,000 followers, she says. So they almost get run over by a semi-truck, but they move on. Then they see the birds photo on the screen. The birds, these things are actually very creepy looking. They were eating a dead fox. They were eating a dead animal. The birds will come into play. So, even with God, only the Lord knows how many fucking warnings, they end up starting to climb the B67 TV tower, which has a ladder. So they're climbing the ladder. They can climb the first 1,500 feet, if I remember right. I watched this a while ago, okay? So, details on this might be a bit fuzzy from my end, and I apologize. But at the same time, maybe I'm not fully spoiling this thing for you, and you can actually go and watch it for yourself. Although I've already told you that if you want to watch it for yourself first, you're not even watching this bit. Oh my god! Not yet? Oh, come on. Yeah! Alright. So they climb the first 1,500 feet on a ladder, fine. Then they have to use the external repair ladder, which is very rickety. Next warning. I feel like you see this, you're like, oh, we're high enough at this point. Let's just go back down, okay? No, they climb the final 500 feet on this rickety ladder. Obviously, if they made it to the top, celebrated a bit, and then, you know, just went back down and called it a day, it would have been a 20-minute film. So, shit has to go wrong. And how does it go wrong? The aforementioned rickety ladder went a bit too rickety, and then the bolt fell out, and then the whole thing fell 2,000 feet to the ground. So they're stranded at the top of the B67 TV tower, where the rest of the film, so there's an hour 47 minutes of this film, and I estimate about the first 20 minutes we're setting it up, so an hour 20-ish minutes of this film takes place at the top of that B67 TV tower. I can see why maybe it only cost them $3 million now. They're effectively in one location. It's still quite impressive they made this with $3 million because they need a lot of earlier shots and stuff, and I think the tower was real, I'm quite sure. The tower was real, so... I mean, the tower is real, it exists, and they got, you know, permissions to use it. Anyway, off topic. So they make it to the top of this tower, obviously now they're trying to look for help. They can't get signal up there, conveniently. And basically the rest of this film is for you adrenaline junkies, you know, obviously seeing them that high and stuff, and they do some crazy things to try to make it out. So they try sending a message, it doesn't work. Then they make it to the point, obviously they're gonna run out of water, and they didn't even bring food with them, they only had water, which doesn't help. So we spend the first few days on the tower, first like 2 days on the tower. They're fine, they're doing okay. Obviously a bit bored, but they're stuck up there, no one really realizes. Then 2 guys rock up in an RV, and they think they can help them, they're trying to call them and stuff. But it doesn't work, and they actually steal their truck. Wow, what dickheads. Then another guy rocks up with his dog, and they try to like throw a shoe to make him realize about them because he didn't see him, and the dog realizes, but the owner didn't give 2 shits, so he just called this dog, and then they walked away. So that's 2 missed opportunities to get off of the top of this tower. They start going into, you know, horrible mode. Then they have a drone which has no battery, so it doesn't make it back, so then they recall it and have enough battery to make it to the motel they were staying at beforehand. There's a lot that happens in this film from the top of this tower. Then they try to throw Hunter's phone in a shoe, but the shoe isn't enough packing and cover, so the phone still shatters into a million pieces. It is a 2,000 foot drop after all, so that didn't work. They tried to like send a message and like send it down so the signal works. Didn't work, so they were stuck up there. Then in the midst of all this, they lose the bag. So they lost the bag first. I'm sorry, mistake from my end. They lost the bag first, and then they had to like retrieve it so they could get the drone and stuff. Then the drone didn't have enough battery and came back. I'm really skipping into. I started here, then I came here. Now I'm back here, and now yeah, I'm sorry. Then the Hunter shows Becky a trick in the restaurant they were in, where you can use the filaments of a bulb to like stick the charger in and it will charge. So Becky has to climb the final like pole, because there's a light that for the airplanes to not crash into it. There's a red light. Takes out that bulb, sticks the thing, and just like holds up there for fucking ages. It's actually crazy how far she held up there. She loses the bag again, and Hunter doesn't catch it. We'll get to why she does it in a second. She gets down. The drone suffers the same fate they almost did when they almost made it to the motel and a semi ran it over and sent the drone's dreams into night-night mode. Then it is revealed that, in a very weird way it's revealed, that Hunter was dead for a while. It was all like Becky's imagination. So basically, when they're trying to get the bag back, in Becky's mind, Hunter made a massive jump, Jesus Christ, and she pulled the bag up with Hunter on it. What actually happened was, Hunter did not make this jump, and she's dead, and then Becky just pulled up the bag. And then basically imagined Hunter, Jesus Christ, for the rest of this film. That's the big twist. Hunter was dead in the final act of the film, basically. That's the twist here. I mean, obviously it's like hinted in some ways. For example, Hunter had never watched wrestling, was able to name a wrestler's name that Becky had forgot, because they were trying to keep her away. That's why they were talking about wrestling. So it was hinted in multiple ways, but it is a bit of a lazy twist in it, just for the character to be dead all along. Then Becky gets a final idea. She sent a message on her phone to her dad, and was the perfect cover for a phone for a 2,000-foot drop. A human body. So she sticks the bag in Becky's open wound, the phone in Becky's open wound, and drops her down 2,000 feet. The phone doesn't break, and help is on its way because her father saw the message, obviously, then help came, and Becky gets off of the tower. Yay, but Hunter's dead. And we don't see the consequences of that at all. So, if you're willing to suspend your disbelief, so, because there's a lot of this film you can point out that, be like, that's not realistic, that doesn't happen, that you can point them out all day. And if you love adrenaline, this film is for you for sure. If you love adrenaline, my palms were genuinely sweaty watching this thing. And if you love, the thrill and the idea of just being in the air the whole time with the camera, so basically you're always seeing a viewpoint that's 2,000 feet in the air, then this is definitely the film for you. If you want something with a proper story that actually is cohesive and doesn't take easy ways out, and maybe a bit of laziness in the writing, then this thing's not for you. I'm sorry. If you want something with actual substance, this thing's not for you. You're gonna have to... I personally enjoyed it for what it is, obviously, but I think there were ways they could have made maybe the story a bit more shocking or a bit better. But overall, this film's not bad. So now I'm gonna compare it. So, in the Cars on the Road video, I introduced a new thing where I compared each of my ratings for the episodes to IMDb. I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm adding Rotten Tomatoes today, and this is going to be a staple in the rest of my film reviews. So, in my opinion, this film is a nice flat 6.5 out of 10. Now, on IMDb, it's actually a 6.4 out of 10, meaning I only overrated it by 0.1. according to IMDb, and on Rotten Tomatoes is a 78%. That is, oh wow, that's a lot. Which obviously, if you aggregate it to out of 10, is 7.8, meaning I underrated the film by 1.3. So, moral of the story, I didn't mind it, IMDb didn't mind it, Rotten Tomatoes loved it for some reason. Yeah. Well, this film is you can watch this film. It's, again, you love the adrenaline, you love the idea of it, you want something to go. Warning, there's a bit of gore and stuff in it. I'm surprised it's a PG-13 film, to be honest. There's a bit of gore in it and stuff. Nothing too special, just the birds usually eating blood, because they also eat Becky's body, not just the fox. Yeah. If you don't like all of that, maybe it is not the film for you. If you love the idea of being 2,000 feet in the air for an hour, 20 minutes, and just basically getting filled with adrenaline and pumped with adrenaline, then definitely watch this thing. Yeah, thank you for watching. Maybe get me to 300 subscribers, thank you. Toodaloo.